welcome to this newest activity that we have in the office, dubbed as an afternoon with an expert. So again, this is actually done to give premium to effective knowledge management, that the skills and knowledge of our assets here in the university should be made explicit, something that is documented and shared. And this is one way. And this is also to strengthen and leverage the culture of research and innovation in the community of practice in the university. So we here in USTP, we are actually a community of practice, community of academicians and scientists. Okay, so this afternoon, I am personally excited to introduce to you our sharer. Okay, he is actually one of our brilliant scientists that we have in the university. He is currently a professor of environmental science and technology. He has a PhD in biology from MSU IIT. He will talk to us this afternoon, triggering factors of conducting research across disciplines. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Cordulo Ascaño. Sir Long, the virtual floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon sa tanan. May hapon sa tanan. Taga Cagayan o taga Laing Dapit sa atuang Ascaño Island, no? So can I share my screen? Okay, so again, may hapon sa tanan. You can call me Long for short. No, my real name is Cordulo P. Ascaño II. And I will be talking about triggering factors of conducting research across discipline. So mura og tiyadak ay ni siya nga topic kay daghan ka itag matabangan diri, especially those mga budding researchers and labaw sa tanan atong mga estudyante, no? What really will stimulate you? What really will ignite you? What triggers you to conduct research? And that's indeed a challenge labaw na sa ato ang mga estudyante, especially no kay kung naatas sa ato ang instruction, expectedly naagid po tayo mga tawag aning loads labaw na sa thesis writing. And dako pud kay ini nga challenge para sa ato ang mga faculty members kung saan nato pagbilang ato ang mga estudyante, especially kung muduol na sila. Sir, tabangi ko kung saan man ako ang research, kung saan man ako akong thesis, and usually mao gyud atong ka-experience, tama ba? So this time we will be talking about what triggers us, no? What ignites us. So basically, identifying the research idea is considered to be the first step in the research process. And of course, we will be talking about the area considered to be our area of expertise. And this is just finding a topic is just actually one of the steps. It may sound easy, but as what I have mentioned a while back, it's indeed very challenging.
Right.
Okay, you will not only be handling, say for example, one group, but 3, 4, 5 groups. And that's really very taxing, really very challenging. Labaw na sa ato. Again, I would like to emphasize kining first nga ako ang triggering factor. I-emphasize na ko ni sa ato ang mga undergrad. So daghan pa tag undergraduate na mga quadri attendees, Sir Jeff?
Yeah, we have invited actually Dr. Ascaño.
Yes, so I'm happy, no? Kay very challenging. Yes. I would like to share the first triggering factor. And this first triggering factor is addressed to the undergrad or to the students in general. So again, ako mga estudyante mo anhin ako, sir, tabangi ko sir, wala na ko itulog sir. Dili na ko ganahan mo kaon sir. Wala lang gihapon mga mahuna-hunaan nga topic. So that would mean nga itaon saturated na ilang huna-huna, bombarded with a lot of subjects and coupled with the, asking title, asking problem from them is really a challenge. So what will I do? What do we do to the students? So the first thing that I would ask to my student is, where are you from? Asa man ka nagpuyo? Taga-asa man ka? Taga-siyudad ka o taga-probinsya? Okay? And next is, kinahanglan na to i-adwine na itong kaugalingon. You go for a walk to get your brain going. So let's take a walk let's chat while walking, because when we walk, our physiological makeup is actually and is energized. And so this is actually a picture of my students, no? While we are having a short walk and talking about their interest. So that's the next
Wow.
question that I am asking from them, no? What's your field of interest? Asa man imong ganahan kay di ta mag-focus. So dalahon ko nila sa isa ka area kay ilang kakaganahan. So in this case, we are in a forested area, and some of my students would bring me in the aquatic area, and some of my students will just ask me for a walk diri sa side sa ato ang mga streets. So these are some of the experiences nga akong gakahimo sa mga estudyante. And while talking, I ask them to be very sensitive with the environment. Unsa man ang inyong mapansin diha, ug kana ato ang istoryahan. So there, pag abot ana, mag-end up me
Ano sa kaning nga suba paingon, sir? Idol. Jeff, I think he is fading. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Yes po.
So what Dr. Ascaño has mentioned now earlier is one of the things that we can consider when we identify research topics. Now, what are the triggering factors? So it all started, now usually, now almost always, it usually started with a talk, okay? An informal conversation, or could be through a walk. Now we can walk and talk and discuss any possible topics that we can probably consider for research. The talking point for this afternoon is on the triggering factors in conducting research. So he mentioned earlier that now in the case of thesis advisors, I think most of us here in the room are faculty members. There are also students. So for faculty members who've been advising thesis students, number one problem of the students really is what particular research topic or problem to consider in their thesis. So since most of our students do not have yet a clear idea what to consider for a particular researchable problem or topic, then they opted for, copying other people's work. They usually plagiarize. That's the saddest thing. So we're inviting Dr. Ascaño to share to us what are those triggering factors. Now, what triggers you to do this research? Okay. So I know Dr. Ascaño will share a lot of things on the triggering factors to consider. And again, he mentioned on an activity, not a very simple activity, like you're doing an informal talk, or you're walking to a place you want to go to. On your way to that place, you will always notice that there are ideas coming out from your mind, which could be considered for a thesis, topic, or problem. And that's one of the triggering factors that he can share to all of us this afternoon. I know there are many things. And our colleagues here in the room also have many things to share based on their actual experience. So it's a good thing, Jeff, that there are many students with us this afternoon. This is actually for all of us, no? Researching faculty members, non-teaching personnel, students from both levels, undergrad and graduate levels. Okay, so again, as what Jeff mentioned at the outset, any one of us here actually can intervene, can freely share what you can probably share. No, if you talk about triggering factors, Okay? And there are actually best practices that we can consider. So other advisors may, require their students to read related literature first. So once the topic is identified, they can read related literature. It could be completed research in journals. You can even, read magazines, newspapers. You can watch television. Okay? So these are common possible triggering factors in conducting research.
Can I now continue my discussion? The first triggering factor that I always emphasize to my student is, of course, to walk for a while and get your brain going. And through this, through exercising, through communicating, we students are becoming so, observant and keen observers environment. And there, they have found out that, say for example, in this tree, it is forest. One of my students already asked, "Sir, what nice kay isang tanan ang trees, pero aside from that, napa may lain nga ma-identify na to nga use sa tree nga naa diri sa kilid?" And so akong ibalik ang pangutana, ikaw unsa pa man ang mga wala na ko na discuss sa ato ang mga subjects, especially in ecology. So there, napansin nila nga, oh no, murag it's really very nice topic nga pinaagi ani nga mga kahoy posible ni siya maka-absorb og mga particulate matter, maka-absorb di siya og mga pollutants that might affect the health of human being. So there, nigawas na sa ilahang mind, no? Ang ilahang idea, and that's already considered to be a brilliant idea. And so after that, their mind is already working. And so it's not enough na diha lang nataman. The second triggering point, once they already have identified one of the topic of interest, it's important that we really have to have brainstorming and we have to value collaboration. Okay? So when we brainstorm and collaborate, we are actually talking about many minds working together. In this case, as what you have noticed in the slides, these are all my group mates. No, we are here. We are collaborating with Nestle project. We are collaborating here. We are brainstorming of the DOSTP shared project. And again, we are collaborating with other universities, CSU, IIT, USM, and here my students are also brainstorming. And this is really very nice because since daghan kay isa nga tanan ang brain, simple lang ang ato ang idea nga gisulod, pero pagawas ana dako na kayo sa nga tanan ang scope. So in other words, a lot of people will now be benefiting from that simple problem into a very complex problem, and nahimo na siyang very challenging kay dako nang iyang scope, dako na kay isa nga tanan ang iyahang area na pwede nga maapilan sa uban nga mga entities. So brainstorming really help the team member to get ideas, and at the same time ma-refine pagyud ang ideas. And this brainstorming is of course a group effort, so wala gyud mo angkon ani. So instead, I just would like to share to you sa pag-brainstorming namo na may idea last 2 weeks ago. We had actually a brainstorming with 4 research centers to come up with a very nice idea, science and technology for responsible mining here in Bukidnon. And so that's it. So brainstorming and collaboration really is a key in order that we can be able to get a very meaningful topic. This really is a triggering factor that will get you somewhere meaningful, something meaningful, and daghan kayo sa nga tanan ang ma-engage o daghan kayo sa nga tanan ang matabangan. So another triggering factor or that will ignite the researcher other than brainstorming, collaboration, and through walking, I would like to emphasize here the importance of interview. No, I just would like to share my idea about interviewing. Just yesterday, I went to one of the barangays in Cagayan de Oro. We had a short talk, informal talk lang with one of the Kagawans. And we talked about solid waste management, and he was so proud na daghan kayo sa Natanag Awards ang nakuha ng ilang mga barangay. And suddenly I asked him na, sir, how do you measure the effectivity of the implementation of the program? So, ang iyang answer lang sa ako is we have classified the basura in terms sa kining malata o dili malata. So, it seems nga mura og wala kaayo pa siya klaro nga panlangtaw sa solid waste management. So, nag-inject ko sa iya og topic. So, sir, naghatag ko sa iya og topic. Unya, nasabtan niya nga haladili lang di ay ni siya mao. Ang sulti niya sa ako is, sir, para ma-minimize ang basura, ang paliton og ang ilahang basura pinaagi sa pagbaylo sa mga in-kind nga mga goods, grocery items. Pero ang iyahang ibaylo is mga sachet lang gyapon nga shampoo, mga sachet lang gyapon nga mga toothpaste. So dito, nahuna-hunaan nga murag researchable area ni siya. Kay number one, wala pa siya idea on how to measure kung effective ba ang implementation sa iyahang solid waste management. Unya this time, naghatag siya og reward sa mga local people para iuli ang basura. Unya tagaan po siya og potential nga mga basura. So that's actually another triggering point. Na gwapo kay isang tanan i-improve nato ato ang i-review ang ilahang policy kay para mahibal-an asa ang kulang dito. So you know, that's another one triggering kining input para maka-research ta. So through interview, dili na to kinahanglan nga isputing ta, dili ta kinahanglan nga formal ang atuang suoton, otherwise ma-discriminate ang uban, maulaw sila mutubag og tinud-anay. So through interview really, say for example, sa isa sa grupo na po sa mga lumans, I asked them about mining and they told me nga, sir, sa una simple lang kayo ang pagmina, wala gyud destruction nga nahitabo sa environment. Only recently nga nagamit og mercury, nagamit og cyanide. So may I know, sir, I asked them, may I know, sir, unsa man day ang inyong mga traditional way of extracting gold from the ore? And surprisingly, he told me another researchable area. They used endemic local plants pagyud extract in order to, you know, to remove gold from an ore. And that's another researchable area. That's again another igniter that stimulates us researcher nga daghan na itang makuha ng mga researchable area kung ato ang pangutan-on ang atoang mga respondents by heart. Kunya tinud-anay nga dili ta kinahanglan walay reservation kanang from the heart yun, no, nga ma-feel nila nga mura og nahulog ako ang loob sa iyaha nga dili na ko kinahanglan mutago pa. So that's actually one of the triggering points. No, we have interviews. Another triggering nga mga factor is, of course, the one that I love, attendance to conferences and workshops. Why? Because through attending the seminars or the scientific conferences and workshops, it can open new ideas, no? It can open new, avenue, especially sa mga researchable areas. And this, I know, hadlok ay sa natanan kung ikaw mag-present ka og paper sa isa ka international arena. O when I travel abroad, dili gid ko mag-enjoy. Napa lang ko sa airport, nag-study na ko. Pag abot pagin ako sa hotel, nag-study. Pagkagabi, nag-study. Pagkaugma, present. Unya, imbis kay maglaag ko, matulog na lang ko kay wala ko'y tulog. During mga previous days, kaya sige ko ga-study. Kaya nga naman, nice kayo sa ngatanan ang mga presenters ug labaw sa tanan, nice kayo sa ngatanan ang mga speakers. So I have here pictures of my idols, no? Na atadri si Arvin Diasmos, We have here Emerson C. We have here Dr. Amoroso. They're all my academic heroes. So from them, I got a lot of inspirations. I got a lot of ideas, researchable areas. So this is again one of the factor that triggers me to further my, my skill. No, especially here in the workshop, notice nga naami sa isa ka waterfalls, we actually conducted new trend in, in harvesting or in collecting flora and fauna. So here I have presented my output in an international fora in Palawan, and so I was so fascinated because they gave me inputs to improve my work, and again that's a triggering point nga naana pud ay koy phase 2 nga mahimo ani. So di gyud ta mahutdan basta padayon lang ka sa pag-present sa imong paper kay daghay mga recommendations, daghan kag makuha nga mga information from other participants, and possible collaboration sa imuhang mga academic heroes. You see, so it's really very fun and enjoyable. Dili lang ka nakasuroy, nakaamigo pag yun ka. And one thing is for sure, I would like to remind you that when you travel, when you attend conferences and workshops, do not forget to bring your business card with you. Maura gyud na ang permanente nga kadalahon. Baga kay kung now nga permanente na ako ipakita ang business card, and after that selfie kay para when I communicate them ipakita nako ang amuang picture together, and naana ko'y address sa iyaha, communication na dayon, and sugod na dayon og exchange ideas and possible collaboration. So attendance to conferences and workshop really is a good avenue for you to hear about the latest research and to get to know other people in your field nga the same yun ang inyong interest. And again, the most important part here is you will be able to meet your academic heroes and possible collaboration. That's one of the triggering factors that we really have to consider. We are so thankful because our university is really very much supportive in terms of attendance at conferences and workshops. So we have to take advantage of that because isa na siya sa pamaagi para di yun ta mahutdan og research, di yun ta pwede mahutdan og mga ideas kay naay permanente nga mga opportunities nga moabot sa ato every now and then. Okay? Another one is of course the literature search, especially in issues in the field of your study. No? Because when you are reading literature, posible makakita ta og research gap diha nga wala pay possible solution. So isa ka na siya dako nga isa ka dako kaayo nga opportunity. And at the same time, makita nato nga uy kining iyahang gihimo nga research doable man ni. Pwede po nako ni siya i-duplicate pero sa lain lang nga area. So you see, naano po tayo bagong factor nga makapa-trigger, makapa-ignite, makapa-stimulate sa atoang nga magpadayon yung permanente sa research. Okay? So I already have identified siguro 5. I would like to add more. So I have here another mga idol. So doon siya nga si Dr. Angel Alcala naka-visit sa atoang university o isa sa iyahang mga tuyo to see my work in the laboratory. So diri pa lang naan murag nagkurog ko sa kalipay kay national scientist si Dr. Alcala. Unya gitan-aw niya ako ang mga work. I have here mga snakes, I have here a lot of mga reptiles, birds, and so on and so forth. And he appreciated my work. Nice daw kayo sa ngataran ako ang pagka-preserve. So you see, when you are consulting an expert, muhatag na po na siya og mga bag-o nga mga trend. And just like in the case of Dr. Ultra, ni ari na siya diri sa atuag, gi-invite namo sa NATO no through the Environmental Science and Technology Department. i-invite nato siya ug nag-share siya sa imong experiences sa Botswana, and we took advantage of the situation. Gidala nato siya dito sa site, sa mining site. Ug there nakita niya nga daghan pa kay sa tanan og researchable areas, and in fact this time we are very much busy. Labaw na nga mo ang chairman sa BIMED, si Ma'am Alma. Daghan kay sa tanan ang mga ka-file up ng mga researchable areas. And yesterday, pasalamat mi kay si Ma'am Alma, nakasubmit na gyud siya. Nasubmit na gyud niya after hardships, hard work, nasubmit na gyud niya ang isa ka proposals sa PICARD, and hopefully makonsider to siya, and there's more to come with the help of our experts. So it's important that we really have to invite experts, and if given the chance, we have to bring our experts to the field so that they can also inject new ideas to us. So that is actually a way of stimulating again our interest to conduct research. Okay, and after that, experience, our personal experience is also one of the triggering points para kita mag-conduct of research. We are already aware that we experience pandemic this time. Daghan kay sa tanan ang researchable areas diri. It is so sad that we experience in Dong. It is so sad that there is this war in Marawi. It is so sad that there is this part in the Philippines nga nag-suffer og the Taal now is nag-alboroto na pod. So daghan kaayo ang mga pwede nato nga research, especially sa health, sa environment, engineering. So experience itself is considered to be, it has a pool of kining mga researchable nga mga areas. So this ignites us. I-take nato ni siya nga advantage kay para makatabang ta sa community. Okay? And after that, research funders. Kini swerte kayo sa tanan, no? That said, is one of the funders. We have the UST. We have the office of Dr. Talili. And we also have here the other na mga agencies, DNR. But take note, dili ka basta-basta magpasa og proposal because na ay theme. So, swerte kay tanan ta kung naa na gani theme, unya naa na tay mga backup ng mga proposals, dali na lang nato na siya nga ma-present and ato ang masubmit. So, research funders, isa na siya sa magkurog-kurog na dayon mi. I would like to make mention kay Dr. Walag nga always give me ana ga chat unya naalam na siya ipakita nga mga picture manggawa saba na dayon kay isang tanan ang amo ang group chat unsay mga possible nga mga unsay mga possible nga mga topics nga to ang i-submit. So research funders really is one of the many reasons why we really have to conduct research, an igniter, a triggering factor. So another one which I consider very important is, of course, we are all very much busy with NBC 461. Ug isa sa mga areas sa NBC 461 ang atuang publication, ang atuang research. So triggered na ba mo? Mauni ang atong gikabuangan the past few days. Sige tag-ihap pila ato ang na-publish ug karon nag-look forward na punta nga kinahanglan magpadayon ta sa ato ang research kay naa na po'y cycle 9 na po'y cycle 10. And aside from that, we are so thankful to the university because whether I like it or not, isa gid ni siya sa makapatrigger nato. We have these CAS awards tax-free. So in fact, the office of Dr. Talili is now calling for publication CAS awards. And the last but not the least, makonsider nato ni siya nga consolation pero dako kaayo nga impact para sa mga researcher, we got to travel abroad. So I already have because of these mga researches nga nakuha nako ug makuha ninyo in the future, especially if it is a, an external funded research, kini pong atong internal funded research, you got to travel abroad. I already have visited 7 countries, and I am so very much thankful to USTP. So you see, there are a lot of triggering factors na magpadayon yun ta sa ato ang paghimo og mga researches. So mag-start yun na sa ato ang self-willingness, commitment. Kay kung wala gani ka ng willingness, wala po gay commitment, basking ibahog na sa imuhan ng mga topics diha, kumpleto na, pero kung wala gani wala kay passion, sayang ang tanan. So we have to take advantage kung unsa man ang gihatag sa ato sa university, kining ato ang mga friends nga pwede nato mag-collaborate, mga scientists. We have to treasure them kay mao ni sila ang makatabang nato ug para pud ta makatabang sa uban. So that would be all for this afternoon. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Long, for that kind of sharing and for really giving us in the community of practice here in USTP the motivation and inspiration, particularly to our students, okay, students karon, and to the neophytes and to the budding scientists we have here, also have them in the virtual room. We shall now have our open forum for this time. In this portion, we shall welcome some questions from our virtual audience, add-on ideas from any of the participants in the room. By the way, let's just make this informal again. We are actually allowing in here loose exchange of ideas. So any of the participants in the room can actually share freely in a casual conversational manner to facilitate loose exchange of ideas. So shall we begin with Dr. Walag, sir? If you have something to share with us right now, Sir Jello. Sir,
hello, ngayong hapon. Unsa galito, Jeff? Sorry, Jeff. Nag-CR ka dali.
Okay, sir, if you have some, if you can share your experiences as a researcher, as a senior researcher po in the university.
Okay, senior na ba ko? Okay, but yeah, no, I actually agree with Sir Long. No? It's source of research problems are actually plenty. No, they are around us. Aside lang yun, it takes keen observation. No, kay si Sir Long mong biologist ni siya. Parami biology skill gid na sa biologist ang observation, being observant, and if you are able to find kanabitang mga phenomena or things that happen around you, and they can actually be good source of research topics. I totally agree. Karon na naman ko sa education, no, among problems ginatanaw, research problems we examine in the college are mostly applied. I mean, these are problems we encounter in the classroom, and the same actually, no, we look at our practices in the classroom. Then we observe which works, which doesn't work, and if it works, what evidences do we provide that it works? So it could be an area of research also. That's what we tell our students and graduate students, no, to be mindful, to be reflective of your practices. Kay those can be good source of research problem. Sakto ko, Sir Long.
Sakto kaayo.
Thank you, Sir Jello, for that. Kinsa pa pwede maka-share diri. May I call on Ma'am Alma? Yes, Ma'am. Professor Alma Abo.
Uy, adem pa. Saba ko sound diri. Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
be here?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear po.
First and foremost, thank you, Sir Long, for acknowledging my effort. Anyway, yes, it is really true. No, according to Dr. Ascaño, it takes a team to really work for research. Okay, even if you have a lot of things in your mind, but you cannot do it alone. So it needs effort, and it needs contribution from the members or the teammanship of the group, no? So in the department, we tried to do that because one, you cannot do it alone. So everybody has to have their share. And yeah, of course, I would like to emphasize commitment, no? So you really need to do that because it cannot be done if there is no commitment from the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Alma. So how about the others? Okay, so question diri Sir Long from Mr. Emmanuel Galgueto. So hello, Dr. Ascaño. If there is design thinking which provides a solution-based approach to solving problems, why we only limit to research instead of doing design thinking instead? Sir Long? Sir Long, you're actually muted. Sir Long, you are actually muted.
So my idea is that wala gyud limit actually ang research. No? For as long as you're capable of doing it, there's no such thing as limitation. So you go for it for as long as you are passionate about it. So that's how simple by answer really is.
Okay. So Sir Emmanuel, does that okay na di ay sir? Satisfied siya sa answer. How about the others po? How about our students in the virtual room? Okay, nakabay mga questions.
May I add?
Ay, yes po, Ma'am Alma. Yes, ma'am, you can po.
When you do research, that's actually one of the, it's also actually design thinking, no? Because when you talk about design thinking, you can have a lot of things, no? And then research is just one way, no? So meaning we should not limit ourselves, no? When you do design thinking, there are a lot actually of opportunities and activities to be done. When you do research, that could be one type of design thinking that you do to be able to come up with solutions to some problems. What is nice with research is because you can do a lot, like it can stretch out a lot of things, like you can go for publication, you can go for extension. So, and basically you also solve problems, no, in a community or in some area. And in our case, we do much for the environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Alma, for that further explanation. So how about the others? Okay. Our students here, na po may mga questions for Dr. Long Ascaño. Okay, pala na Sir Long, nako'y question. As regards to research-based extension projects, okay, can we also consider extension projects as means for us to conduct research also?
Okay, yes, actually, very big yes. Okay, so I would like again to share my experience just yesterday, no?
Yes po.
Daghan na silang mga achievements. But along the way, during their sharing, daghan kayo sa ngatanan ang pwede pa nga ma-extract para mas ma-improve ang ilahang mga abilidad sa isa ka community. So there I take the advantage of sharing also our practice here in the university, and so they agree and they already told me that if possible moadto dito ang team kay para naay extension nga ma-improve ang ilahang mga practices. Yes, ang extension pwede po na siya actually nga ma-research kay along the way daghan pud kag mga areas nga madiskubrihan. Daghan pud kag mga problems nga ma-met along the way. So say for example in extension posible nga isa na siya ng mga basis kay para maka-create ka og policy sa isa ka barangay. But along the way, naapo di ay problem nga nahimo sa policy nga ato ang na-craft. So that is again a researchable area. Yes.
Thank you, Sir Long. So, follow up, sir, which would really come first? Extension projects or research? For you
Okay,
po?
for me, I really would go for research first because there's a lot of opportunities that we can discover when we do research, and it's scientific. When it is scientific, it's factual, and it's more, of course, it's reliable, and it will work if we will extend that sa community.
Thank you, Sir Long. So, nag-thumbs up si Ma'am Bing. So, Ma'am Bing, I believe, no, you can, maybe you can have something to share with us this afternoon. Ma'am Bing Doncilio. Yes, Ma'am?
Hi, Sir Jeff.
Hello po.
Hi, Sir Long. Akong
Hi,
ka-extensionist
ma'am.
and ka-environmentalist. Hi, Ma'am Alma. And everyone on this virtual classroom, more na-inspire lang ko gamay. This is the first time joining this 1 hour chikahan with the expert, no?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm happy nga, murag ka ng chat-chat lang, storya lang, Sir Long, di kaya siya formal. And hi again also to hi po kang Sir Talili and sa mga taga-Oroquieta. I just murag na lang ko'y aha moment, Sir Sir Long. Murag na lang ko'y aha moments upon hearing okay, kasi satellite campuses has very rare opportunities for coping up with so much for the university. Considering that gamay rami diri, sir, dayon medyo busy lang sa mga multitasking. But I would like to say that there is a research-based extension program. For the moment, the Oroquieta campus have the plus technology, which we started with the PWDs. It is my paper in my master's, and as of today, it's one of the hot-selling pandesal in the community relations, extension and community relations division of the campus. And I would like just to say nga, agree ko sa ingon ni Sir Long nga research sa siya i-share sa extension for extension activities. And correct ba, Sir Long, no? Research, then extension, then impact study na din pagkahuman, sir, ba? For kung ano dahil tawag na siya, kung sa ganito siya ka ng adaptation, what you call that? Someone will adopt your technology and you will have that
Technology
certificate.
adoption, Ma'am Bing.
Is that to, sir?
Hello, Ma'am Bing. Hello. We
Yes,
call
sir.
that technology adoption.
Yes, and I think if that yes, thank you, sir Mael, and muna na technology adoption and impact study. So thank you, murag nalipay ko ba we're in the right track in Oroquieta, and in such if it comes from a research study before the extension, murag kampante ta nga we're doing the right thing, no? Thank you, Sir Long. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ma'am Bing, for that kind of sharing. Yes, Sir Mael, sir, you have something to add po? Sir Mael?
Yeah, before I forget, thank you, Jeff. Before I forget,
po.
I would like to thank Sir Long, Dr. Ascaño, my friend, for sharing his research knowledge. I know many of you there, many of us are motivated to do research further, because if I may also share my own personal experience in research, way back when I was doing my master's thesis. Yeah, and many of us here, many of you here can always relate to my own experience, because probably this was also your experience in the graduate school. It's hard really to take off in research when the basic assumptions, the basic principles are not clear to the person. So there are actually triggering factors aside from what Sir Long mentioned earlier. There are many, and you will be surprised knowing that why I got those ideas, research ideas, when I have not yet attended a research conference, things like that. So the usual thing I told my students is to keep really on reading, read and read, no, literature in your field, because there are many disciplines, no, in the academe. So we can always read related literature until such time that you can encounter concepts in your field, researchable concepts. Unya, ang ako tigaling i-share, Jeff, no, sa ato ang mga participants karon sa an afternoon with an expert, kanang ang akong personal nga practice is the moment I encounter new concept or new term. Now that is new to me. It may not be new to many people, but when I say new concept or new term, it's from my lens. Maybe it's my first time to read that. Maybe it's my first time to encounter that. So my practice, Jeff, no, my practice is I really get to know the definition right away. Yeah, I have to really get the definition right away. And then when I learn the definition, then napag na siya mga sub-concepts di ay that you can read further. Hangtod nga matagaan kag idea nga mao din pwede nga ma-research nimo that you can consider for a research project or thesis or dissertation. So that could be one of the triggering factors. So my point here is ayaw palabya ang terminology or concept or term within your field, for example, nga dili nimo mahibal-an ang definition, unsa gyud na siya, unsay meaning. And then I would like also to emphasize the benefit of kanabitang crossing boundaries, leading us to multidisciplinary research. Kay maunam na atong gi-promote karon na multidisciplinary research. We can always read concepts of people or experts in their own discipline and see to it that we always understand the concept. If not, we can always dialogue with them. We can always have a talk with them. Unya, sa ingon ana, you can also get an idea nga hala pwede di siya nga concept or topic for my own thesis or dissertation ana. So I remember what the chancellor mentioned nga ang ato akaro mga research topic or problem as much as possible should be kanang industry based, community based, no, na problem based siya but in general. Unlike in the past, no, atong mga estudyante atong pangayuan og topic for thesis, for research. Ang ilab yung mahimo kasagara kay mangopya sa library, title daan gikopya. Okay? So ato na siyang i-change nga bad practice. What we can always do right now or from now on is we can always read concepts, read further hangtod nga masabtan gyud nimo. And then one best practice, Jeff, I would like to share. We can always get triggering factor or research idea from a theory. Kaya ang theory daghan kay mga concepts, mga axioms, no, assumptions, daghan dito niya. Akong gisulti sa ako mga estudyante, Sir Long, you can always communicate or email the theorist. You can always email or can communicate with the author of the book. Ug tuod man natingala silang tanan halos kay ni-reply ang mga author sa libro nga nagtuo sila dili mo reply. Wala sila nagdahom nga mo reply day ang author. So from the theory assumptions, for example, nga dili kaayo nimo masabtan diretso, it was explicated further by the theorist, by the scholar. So it is a great opportunity. That is one best practice, Jeff, no, mga igsuon nato dinhi sa virtual room. That is one best practice that we can always share to our students, our colleagues, no? The ways of communicating or reaching out to scholars within our field, outside of our field, and ask questions, clarify things, ask for definition of concepts and all others. Okay? That is all I can share, Jeff.
Thank you po,
once again,
Dr. Talili. So, thank you po, Dr. Talili, for that kind of sharing. My additional question here from Sir Emmanuel. So, hello, Dr. Ascaño, additional questions. So, which is more better? Revisit previous research and improve it, or create a new research? Which would be more beneficial? Sir Long?
Nag-change venue na po si sir, kaya nawalan na po sila og
Okay.
internet.
Okay po. I think nakasulod na si Sir Long.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
sir.
Sorry. Sorry, ayo sige na kog balhin.
Okay na, sir. Sir, natay additional question po from Sir Emmanuel. Which is more better? Revisit previous research and improve it, or create a new research? Which would be more beneficial?
Okay.
Yes po, Sir Long.
Okay. Unsa tay first kakwa?
Sir.
I-improve.
Yes, sir. Revisit previous research and improve it, or just create a new research?
Okay.
Why not create a new one?
Okay. So, I would go for the first one. Yes, because number one, the reason possible, the possible reason nga nung i-revisit to siya because of some comments, some suggestions. And that would be my basis of revising the paper rather than going back to zero, which will take a lot of time. You know, when you publish, it will take a year, it will take, you know, five months or more. Tapos pagbalik di ay daghay mga revisions, and that's a challenge for a researcher. Continue. That's actually a challenge. Padayon lang. Kay lahi ang kalipay nga imong madawat kung grabe ang imuhang gihatag nga kahago. O mas kapoy kung magsugod ka sa sinugdanan kay nako ay sa tanan pod other than time, gasto ug effort ng imuhang i-consider.
Thank you, Sir Long. So again, these are the keys for us to get somewhere to research. Brainstorming and collaboration, interviews, attendance to conferences or workshops, literature review, consultations with experts, personal experiences, and then funders, okay, both internal or external funders, and then for us faculty members, promotion or cash only. Again, thank you, Sir Long. I think can now award this certificate of recognition to our speaker for this afternoon, Dr. Long Ascaño. So this certificate of recognition is awarded to Dr. Cordulo P. Ascaño II, our sharer for this afternoon, who just talked about this topic, okay, triggering factors of conducting research across disciplines. Signed, our university president, Dr. Amusha Bicotura II. Thank you, Dr. Long Ascaño, again for being our sharer for this afternoon. And again, to our virtual audience, we would like to thank you all, okay, for taking time to join us and participate with us in this kind of activity despite of some busy schedules. Now, before we end this activity, shall we have a photo opportunity? So, may I request Ma'am Army for the documentation? Ma'am Arms? Yes po, Ma'am Arms. May I request everyone to turn on their
turn on
video
our-
cameras po.
Okay.
Okay, para makita na nga to ang kagwapo.
Ako ba pa? Yes.
Sige ma'am, can I start po?
Okay, we have 2 batches. Kaya ang uban, murag nawala na sa ilang internet connection. So, first batch. 1, 2, 3. Wait na. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile.
Thank you, Dr. Ascaño.
Thank you, Ma'am
Salamat.
Arm. So, by the way, an activity evaluation form shall be sent to you all right after the session. So we shall see you again next Friday. As next Friday, we shall have another expert, okay, who will share to us another topic. Okay, she will talk about research paradigms next Friday. So thank you and God bless us all. Thank you for coming. God bless us all.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.